everyone, and welcome to my new kitchen. I haven't been uploading any videos recently because I've been renovating, but now it's done and I thought a great first video would be to show you how to make chocolate truffles, especially since it's almost Valentine's Day and this is the great time. Chocolate's always a perfect gift for Valentine's. Now it's pretty easy and I'm going to show you some of the basic steps to making truffles. What I like about making truffles is that you can actually infuse the chocolate filling with any kind of flavor. Today we're going to do a coffee flavor because I don't drink a lot of coffee, but I love the flavor of coffee, like coffee ice cream and coffee truffles. So what we're going to start first is I just want to mention that really good truffles really depends on the chocolate that you use. So it's really going to make your truffles a lot better when you pick really good chocolates. So I'm going to use some Ghirardelli chocolates for the filling because it's a basic sort of semi-sweet filling. But this truffle I'm making also has a shell. We're going to dip it in chocolate and gives it that special enclosure. It'll sort of help preserve it and keep it a little bit longer. And then I like to use really dark or bitter chocolate. And this is E-Guitar. It's very hard to find the really high percentage of dark chocolate, but this particular brand has a really good dark chocolate that I like to use. So we're going to start by making the filling of the truffles. And you start with the heavy cream. We're going to use about a quarter cup to half a cup of cream. And then we're going to warm it up over in the stove. Alright, so I'm warming up my cream in this over the stove top, and we just want it to get to the point where it's bubbling on the side, which it is right now. And I'm going to throw in about 2 tablespoons of coffee beans and then take this off the stove, and I'm pretty much going to let the coffee beans sort of seep into the milk. So I'm going to let it sit here in the milk for about 2 hours. The longer it seeps, it'll probably get bitter, but the thing is we're mixing this with chocolate, which is sweet, so that sweetness will counterbalance with the bitterness that might come out. But the more bitter we get, the stronger flavor, we're hopefully going to get from that. So we're going to let this sit. Now, I said about 2 hours. If you're kind of concerned about leaving dairy outside, you can definitely put it in the refrigerator and let it sit there. But we're going to warm it up before we mix it in with the chocolate. Okay, so we're going to prepare our chocolate filling now, and what I have here is a pot of boiling water. I'm going to create sort of like a double boiler. I don't usually have one, so all I do is just get a heat-safe bowl that I put over boiling water, and this is where I'm going to melt my semi-sweet chocolate. So I got my heavy cream that's been seeping in the coffee beans warmed up now. So I'm going to pour that into the chocolate. I have a bag, 12-ounce bag of semi-sweet chocolate, and I pour that all in. This is already in chips, so that makes it really easy. I'm not going to pour everything. Actually, wait, no, we have to pour everything. I'm thinking of something else. Don't worry. Throw the whole bag in. Okay, and then this is going to be melted when the steam starts to kind of warm up. The thing about working with chocolate is you don't want to get any moisture, any water in it. So that's what we're going to try to be really careful about. So I have myself a strainer here, or a sieve, and I'm just going to pour the warmed heavy cream into it. So we're just making sure that none of the coffee beans go in. But we do want as much as the heavy cream as we can get. And then we're just going to mix the chocolate and the heavy cream that's been infused with the coffee flavor all together. And then so what's going to happen, just put that away, is as the water is boiling underneath, it'll kind of warm up our bowl, and then I don't know if you can see, but see the chocolate's already melting. So I'm just mixing it all together. So as you can see, the chocolate's pretty melted now. It's almost like a thick brownie consistency. But this has the half a cup of heavy cream. And like I said, what's fun about truffles is that you can flavor this filling anything you want. If you don't want to infuse the heavy cream with any flavor, you can just melt your chocolate and mix it with the heavy cream. And then I've done things like add cardamom spice, which is really great, or you could throw in any kind of flavored liqueur like Contrail, and that orange flavor is a very nice mixture, creamy texture, a compliment. And then I just pour it into this 8-inch square pan. You can use any kind of holder, but I just want to first of all, I want to make sure I don't get any of the water or condensation into this pan, so I'm making sure the edge doesn't get in there. But you just basically, you're going to put it in so that you can refrigerate it and get that sort of thin layer, and then we're going to use that as the base to scoop out our little truffle balls that we're later going to dip in chocolate. But by making it sort of consistent level, it makes it easier for you to later get all those different truffles that we're going to make. So I just kind of smoothen it out. Having a thinner layer also makes it quicker when it's in the refrigerator to kind of harden. Basically, we want to get this a little hardened so that we can start to mold it into the truffles. And it should take about a couple of hours. Some people say overnight, but I think a couple of hours should do it. So I'm going to pop it in there, and then we're going to get ready to make our truffles. Alright, so we have here our coffee-infused chocolate filling, the semi-sweet chocolate that we've been keeping in the refrigerator just to harden a bit. And with my refrigerator, it actually took maybe about an hour. So you know, you can always check to see whether it's firm. You just want it firm enough so that you can work with it. You don't want it super soft, because then it'll be hard to mold into the truffle pieces. So here it is, and all we're going to do is scrape it out with this melon baller that I have, and we're just going to scrape up little round pieces, and you just kind of make it the size that you want. What I like to do first is sort of kind of get the pieces out, and then later on I'm going to go back and kind of mold them into sort of nice rounder pieces. For now, the object of the game is just to get the chocolate out into nice bite-sized truffle size. Alright, so now that I scooped out all the chocolate from the tray, I'm now forming it into sort of nicer balls so that it'll look really nice and pretty when you kind of get the truffles. Is making it into a sort of nice shape, and then what some people do is when they're done with this, they'll just cover it with some kind of powder, like powdered sugar or cocoa powder, and when you do that, you just sort of dump it into a bowl of whatever you want to cover it with, and then you're all set to go. So that's one way to do truffles. When you do it like that, the truffle actually only lasts maybe a week, because it needs to remain refrigerated because it has dairy in it. But what I'm going to do, what I'm going to show you, is we're going to dip our chocolate truffles into a bittersweet chocolate coating. And what the coating does is it actually acts like a seal. It kind of creates a shell around the chocolate filling, which has the dairy. There's no dairy, well, there's not really any dairy product in the bittersweet chocolate that we're going to use. So that'll kind of make the chocolate truffles last a little bit longer, and I can also